Hey there, it's Sarah, aka the Meal Coach, and I hope you're having a beautiful Friday afternoon, or if you're watching this on the replay, I hope you enjoy, because today's scope is freaking fantastic. It's Friday, so we go big on Fridays. Actually, we go big on every day because it's just about doing what you love, right? But today I've got an excellent guest, and this is the first time I've ever had a guest on a scope, and we're going to do it via Skype, so I hope that you like it. If you've got questions or comments or thoughts, please don't hesitate to let us know, and without further ado, I'll introduce my guest. This woman is somebody who is taking the mindful leadership world by storm. And I had no freaking idea what mindful leadership was all about until I met this lady. And I'll tell you what, I've been practicing mindfulness with her since, it'll be about a year in July. And it's made a huge impact on me. And so I've invited her to come and share some of her wild, awesome mindfulness wisdom, because you know what, let's face it, we all have crazy busy lives, right? We've got stress because we've got just things that happen 24/7, it seems, right? And we've got bigger dreams where we want to spend even more time on things that we love. So how do we do it to our utmost ability and just having fun, rocking our epic shit kind of thing, right? So Rita's going to do an activity with you that I think is really going to be something that you can do anytime, and you're going to absolutely love it. And then we'll talk a bit about what mindfulness is. So let me get situated here. This is the beautiful Rita Jevesy. Did I say it right?
Davesy.
Davesy, there you go. And she lives here in the Colorado area. And Rita, take it away.
Right. Hi, everybody. Thank you, Sarah, for this great opportunity. So here's what I'm going to ask everyone to do. So take your hand and just kind of place it in front of you. And all I want you to do is count. So count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So quietly do that in your mind right now. So count. So 3 things happened when we did that, right? First of all, you had to stop what you were doing before that. So you took a little mini vacation from whatever activity you were involved in to just stop, which is super, super important for all of us that are leading really busy, stressful lives, to take little breaks for our own well-being. Number 2, what happened was you shifted your attention to your hand and you started focusing on that. And so you started monotasking. Essentially, you started doing just one thing, which becomes really important if you want to be productive and focused with your day, with your life, with your work, whatever it is, right? And number 3, you might have started asking yourself questions like, what is Rita asking us to do? Like, why is she making us count? That sounds kind of silly. Well, you probably also maybe looked at your hand and you went, oh, I kind of like my hand. It's pretty. So you started asking questions. You started opening up. You got curious about what the exercise was, which is super important for creativity, if that's important to you. And so these are some of the things that happen when you practice mindfulness, which is what, as Sarah indicated to you, I teach to very busy professionals and leaders.
Wow. So as we were talking earlier, you used the term that I loved, and it was all about mental hygiene. So tell me about, how you heard about this. Why does it matter? And if I'm looking to really do epic shit, why do I need to have good mental hygiene?
Right, yeah. And so it's sort of similar to the exercise we just did, right? So we're an always on type of society these days. We're always occupied, whether it's with our phone, our laptops, our work, whether we're going to places, we're always on. And the reality is similar to any sort of machine. If you were to think about, our brains need a little break every so often, which is why the exercise that we did becomes really important. And so if we're not exercising what's going on in here, just like we do the rest of our body, well, we know what happens when we don't exercise the rest of our body. So it's a similar concept, but now it's for our minds. And so that's why it becomes really important to practice Dr. Richie Davidson is one person that refers to it as mental hygiene, which I think is really important for all of us.
Nice, nice. So why, at the end of the day, have you decided that this is your mission, right? To work with leaders and organizations to bring more mindfulness to the table?
Yeah, and a lot of it is based off of my own experience. I come from the technology field. I worked in telecom for close to 20 years, and so that is a amazingly stressful environment. And I worked in that. Climbing the corporate ladder and doing all the things that were important to me. And I found that if I didn't take the time to really be quiet and reflect on what was going on, I truly wasn't the best leader that I wanted to be. And I also started noticing that around me, this was a similar need for people as well, where when we are just constantly on the go, we are not performing at our best. And we're probably missing really important things that are going on around us because we're too busy in our own brains that we don't know what's going on around us. So think about the impact to our colleagues or our teams, and really, most importantly, probably to ourselves. And so when I saw that, I felt the need to really shift what my focus was in life. And so I had a leadership role in my last job, and I decided that I wanted to make my mission creating business leaders that believe that self-inquiry and generosity and compassion are actually really important hallmarks for success in leadership.
Yeah, compassion for yourself, compassion for others. Oh, that was excellent. So if somebody's interested to learn more about mindfulness or the work that you do, how can they contact you? What's cooking with you?
Absolutely. Yeah. So I have a workshop that I'm doing on April 5th, which is a great way to learn about mindful leadership. And so it's a half-day workshop in Golden, Colorado. It's in the pine forest of Betcher Mansion, which is really just a beautiful location. And so we will delve in more depth in terms of what mindfulness is and how you can use that in the context of leadership. So that's one way.
Ooh, you're getting a lot of hearts. People were liking that. You were getting some hearts on the screen. That's always.
I like hearts.
That's always
Love
a nice
hearts.
thing. Yeah. And by the way, I just have to add that mansion, oh my gosh, I had never been there before, but I went to Rita's last event that was there, and it was so beautiful. So if you need a good excuse to come to Colorado, do it.
Right. Yeah, there you go. And if you're interested in registering, all you have to do is go to my website, which is www.davisseed.com. That's DEVASEED.com. Or anytime you want to chat, I'm available at Rita@davisseed.com, so you can send me an email. That's another way of getting a hold of me, and we can easily set up some time to talk. I do complimentary 45-minute sessions if you want to, work with me one-on-one as well. So that's another way to engage with me, and I'd love to hear from you.
Excellent. Well, I think that the activity just to slow down, count to 5, the 3 things that happen, everybody can use that. So hopefully if you've watched this entire scope, you are feeling like you've got some awesomeness bubbling up inside by giving yourself some time to do that mental hygiene. And if you're just, popping in, go watch the replay because you don't want to miss the beginning of this scope because it was freaking fantastic. So Rita, thank you for joining me today. Have a lovely weekend, and love having you on.
Thank you, Sarah.